So why should you not trust the PSA Population Report? We're going to do a quick little video tonight, try to keep it under 2 minutes, and talk about why you should not trust the Population Report. What is the Population Report? Well, it's PSA's official listing of how many of a graded card exist. And I'm going to tell you why you should not trust in the PSA Population Report. This is why right here. This is a ungraded raw card. It's not Willie's fault. Willie, say hey kid, it's not your fault. It's the fault of people that break cards out of PSA holders. Now, I'm not against it. I've seen guys at the National Convention buying cards inside and breaking them out in the parking lot, taking them back into PSA for a regrade or into SGC. And so the reason you cannot trust it is because those times are not being documented. Very, I guess, very simple to understand. So, for instance, say this Willie Mays was a PSA 3 or PSA 4. Let's say it was a 3. A guy decided, hey, I'm gonna either I prefer it raw or I'd like to get it regraded. He breaks it out. He sends it back in. It comes back a PSA 3. He says, oh, I decided, man, I'd rather just have it raw. So he breaks it out again. 3 months down the road, his buddy's looking at it. His buddy's like, hey, you know what? I'd like to buy that from you. But I'd like to see what that will grade. So I'm going to send it into SGC. So he sends it into SGC. He gets it back. It's a SGC 2.5. He's just upset about it, so he says, yeah, I like it raw. Breaks it out, sells it to another guy. The other guy says, in order for me to sell this, I think I probably need to get it graded. So he gets it graded, sends it into to PSA, gets it graded, comes back, this time a 3.5. He gets it back, gets real excited. Hey, that's a bump up. He made a little bit of money there. So he decides he's going to sell it. Sells it on eBay. Guy gets it. Guy sees a 3.5. Man, I sure wish that was a 4. He breaks it out, sends it in. It comes back a 3. And so on and so on. But every time that's getting broken out, PSA has no idea that the card is broken out. So the population report, if anything, is, well, I guess that would be if there are more cards. What would that be? The population report is higher or lower. It's actually probably lower than what actually exists. Yeah, that would be right. The PSA report would be lower than what actually exists. Because many of those cards never get regraded into a PSA holder. But every time it gets regraded, that number in PSA goes up. So this card, say PSA has graded this thing 3 different times, the population report goes up every time. So it's 3 higher, but there's just 1 card. But if this card remains raw, those numbers still stay high, but the card really isn't there, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't even know if I understand, but I think I said that right. Anyways, that's why you should not trust the PSA population report. Your card may be more rare than it actually, as far as in a PSA holder, than what PSA is telling you. It's not their fault. It's just the nature of the beast.